You're welcome back. This is Business Morning. We're coming to you live from Channels Television, broadcasting from Lagos. We've been talking about SME funding in Nigeria. A lot of efforts have been put in place by our government. We've heard of the latest, which is the setting of a plan to set up a wholesale development bank. And one of the issues to be addressed by the bank is funding SMEs on a long-term basis. And our guest is Tokema Gunje and Eke Ubichi, both experts in the SME business. Thank you for still sticking around. Before we went on break, Eke, we're talking about a technology incubation center. We have about over 20 of them in the country, and one of the things is meant to do is to groom SMEs, SME owners, startups, like you said. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, this has been there for a very long time now. As I said earlier on, there are 27 of them in the country. The idea is that you get startups. You know, when you say startup, means it's an SME that's not really well endowed like others. Even if that SME has the capital, may not have a structure where to exist and also. But the TBICs provide that opportunity for them to have a structure where to stay, where they have a lot of facilities which they couldn't have provided for themselves, light, water, and so on and so forth. But if you stay there, and also you acquire training, like what Madam said, record keeping and all whatnot, all those things you acquire as you are there. Then when you are incubated there for, say, 5 years or what, you leave, you exit, go and set up on your own, and then while other people come in, that's a very good opportunity. But are we really using that very, very well? In addition to TBICs, we have IDCs, Industrial Development Centers. Now they've been given over to SMEDAN to run. We want to see all these facilities put into good use. We have huge SMEs. The number of SMEs we have in Nigeria are so many. Look at the survey that National Bureau of Statistics and SMEDAN did, that will have over 70 million SMEs in the country. How many of them are captured? You understand? And if all of them are functioning to the optimum, this issue of unemployment we are talking about will be drastically addressed. A lot of them are struggling on their own because they are not encouraged, like what you have obtainable in places like China, Japan.
And they don't have the information that they need, enough information to drive the business.
Yeah. They don't have enough information to drive the business, because if there are some of these places that are structured this way, they will easily have access to information. Okay. You understand? But if it's information on whether these facilities are available or not, it's left for the relevant agencies to, blow it up to the public that, look, these are opportunities available for you, and announce the way by which people will assess them. Like I've had several people asking, oh, this place, I say, what do you mean? Go there and ask questions. They have flyers. You read through and know how you can assess this facility. Okay.
Toki, let me come to you. At the last IOSCO meeting that was held in Brazil, there is an association of securities and exchange commissions around the world, and they talked about how to support SMEs to have access to capital. Now, the capital market is also showing some interest. It's not just in Nigeria, but in other parts of the world. How do you think the capital market can assist SMEs in Nigeria because of the processes involved in having to raise funds from the marketplace?
Well, that is a tough question. The DG and his team at the Securities and Exchange, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, and then the DG and his team, his team, at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, both have their minds on this, and they've both been doing quite a bit of, going out and talking to people, sensitization meetings and so on. Now, particularly at the stock exchange, they've created what you call the alternative
securities market.
Okay. And one of their challenges is how to get more and more people to know about this. The issue with that is SMEs themselves have to be quite formalized and of a particular standard to be able to take advantage of this. So it's only a certain level, I think the M's and the top S's that might be able to take advantage of the capital market. And that is the truth. And that's really because, and then there's a cost. It's expensive to do it.
Well, there have been plans of actually taking steps to cut down on this cost.
It's still expensive for the SME. So it's the top range that will be able to do it. And I think that they are doing as much as they can now, but they need to do more, because the more awareness there is, the more I know that as the owner of a small business or a medium-sized business, my business can live after me if I take advantage of the capital market, and it can live beyond me. So that is about the SMEs growing into large corporates, really. That's what that's about, growing that part of it. The smaller ones need to be brought up to speed. Now, they can be brought up to speed by some of the, like I said, there are new interventions now by government. So Nexim Bank, that's focused on export, and Bank of Industry, that's a development bank, are actually planning into 2015 to begin to provide business support services for their customers. So customers of Nexim Bank being made export ready, customers of Bank of Industry being brought up to speed on processes, procedure, documentation, so they can now begin to take advantage of the capital market and any other opportunities that might exist for them.
Ike, you have any take on that?
Yeah, I think the madam have said it all. Funding from the capital market, from SEC or from Nigerian Stock Exchange. The Stock Exchange even started their own quite some time ago. So I think, to be more exact, last year. But what they really need to do is a lot more promotion so that those that really need the service will have access to it. In addition is that it's not everybody that's within the SME sector that can access it. Maybe, as
why
Madam
not?
said,
Apart from the categories, I know there will be categories of the level of development of these SMEs, like you pointed out.
Sure.
So I think the emphasis should now be, how do you encourage the smaller ones to come up the ladder and also take their place in having to understand the intricacies, the complexities of the capital market, as the case is, and have access to long-term capital?
Yeah, you see, many a times if you stay on your own as an SME to run the system, run up the ladder, it may not be all that easy for you to join the queue. But look at what I said earlier on. The TBICs, industrial development centers, even clusters the government is trying to bring up. If you set up all these structures and you build into it a system by which, look, you say, if you go from this level, you move to the next level, then you'll be able to have gotten prepared to access the capital market. And any intelligent SME will buy into that. You understand? You don't just stay outside and start struggling. How many years will you struggle? But look at the conditions made available for your use. Use it very well, and you start rising, start climbing. You reach a level where you now find yourself well equipped to access the capital market. It's not an overnight business. Dangote did not start in one day and get to where he is. He started from somewhere. So every SME that is serious about what it's doing and plans ahead can also attain that level.
Okay.
But it's good these opportunities are available.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be all we can take. Thank you so much for coming on Business Morning. A.K. Ubiji is the Executive Secretary of the National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, and Toki Mabugunje is an SME consultant. Thank you for being a part of the program. We do really appreciate your contributions. And that'll be it here on the program. Thank you so much for taking your time out from your holiday to watch the program. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate your time with us. I am Bolaji Akinwale.